Hello and welcome to the Arcade Football Podcast, episode 5. We are rolling on steadily, and it's we are halfway through the first week of the World Cup.
Yeah,
finally.
Should be. It's been one hell of a World Cup at the
One
moment.
hell of a World Cup at the moment.
Very
We will be speaking all things World Cup, including all the big games. We've also got today the Premier League, Championship, League 1 and League 2 fixtures have came out this morning for next season. We will be speaking about it too. We've got to start with the transfer gossip, I think. Breaking news this morning. It seems that West Bromwich Albion are favourites to sign Manchester City defender Johnny Lescott. Well, he's left City now, but Johnny over Hull and Stoke. It's a weird one, that.
Yeah, but think about what.
Hull were favourites for a long while to sign Lescott.
Yeah, but who they got at the back? Hull.
Curtis Davies and Alex Bruce. So they do need a centre back, and Lescott did say Steve Bruce was the deciding factor at one point. All of a sudden, West Brom would come in at the 11th hour.
Is this more like is it pure gossip, or is actually
No.
substance to this?
This is the truth, not gossip. West Brom are set to beat Hull and Stoke to sign.
Yeah,
It'd be a
right.
good signing for any side, I think. Johnny Leicester is a good defender.
By the
Everton.
looks of it, the important thing is, and we will speak about the new West Brom manager Alan Irvine, but he's the important deal because Lescott played under Irvine at Everton when Irvine was assistant manager to David Moyes.
That might be why.
So that might be the big deal. It's a good signing for West Brom, though. A signing they need.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they haven't got a top quality squad as it is.
No, I can't remember their last record near the end of the season, but was it?
Well, their centre backs at the minute are like Jonas Olsen, who he's past his best at the minute.
Okay,
You got to say, and then
you got
Macaulay, who's again he's not young. He's getting on a bit now. He's 31, 32.
Yeah, but Lescott's one about the same.
I know, but like
he's got experience.
more experience, and then you can bring in the young players through. Who do you trust to bring the young players through next to Julian Lescott or Gareth Macaulay?
Fair enough.
Hull have got to go back to the drawing board now for a centre back. You know, they need someone. Who do you think they should target?
Uh,
But what type of player do Hull need to target in terms of, as we say, Lescott's got the experience, so they want an experienced centre back or a young centre back.
they need an experienced centre back. I think
See-
they've got young. They haven't got any experience back there. So
And I mean, Europa League football, they will need the squad.
Yeah, they could with that appeal, they might be able to get a good quality centre back from one of the big European sides or like that.
What about a Rio Ferdinand?
That's
Looking for a club, Steve Bruce, they're good friends.
it's a good shout. It's a good shout, but I think we'll follow like Lampard to America.
yeah,
Maybe.
Will Ferdinand, I've got a feeling is done.
You think?
Yeah, because
Going to go into punditry now, is he?
It looks like it. If you see him on the World Cup coverage, he looks so relaxed.
He also worked for BT Sport as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So
So,
it wouldn't surprise me if he comes out and says he retires. But
it'd be a bit of a shame. We're going off topic. We've got obviously, Lescott, as we say, the big deal is Alan Irvine. Alan Irvine, new West Bromwich Albion manager. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, where's he been? I mean,
He was Preston manager for a long while. Academy manager at Everton, assistant manager David Moyes, as we say. He also had academy roles at Newcastle and Blackburn earlier on.
He hasn't done it at the highest level.
No, I mean, his highest job, you've got to say, is probably Sheffield Wednesday. It's
a huge risk when you think about it.
I mean, Albion's first choice, it seems, was Tim Sherwood, who turned down West Brom job.
He turned it down.
Well, literally, they turned that down, and then about an hour later, Alan Irvine's in charge.
It just sounded like a sort of like it was like second or third choice, and they just thought, we'll give him the job, see what he can do.
It reckons Sherwood was unhappy with the terms offered to his intended backroom team of Chris Ramsey and Les Ferdinand. That's why he turned it down. I know a few West Brom fans, and I know they are not happy about this decision. A lot of people refunding their season tickets.
Wow, that's a bit. I mean, I
They
wouldn't.
are not happy, and I don't really blame them, because since Steve Clarke's gone, you've had Pepe Mel, who hasn't really changed anything.
No.
They're still in the same sort of position. They're on a downward spiral. I don't think Irvine's the man to change that.
No, I mean,
No.
I don't know much about. I think about Preston. I don't know if he done well with them or anything, but I don't know. It's just that's what I mean. When I first heard like Alan Irvine, I was like, I had to think a minute. Saying, who is this guy?
Interestingly, Irvine did turn down an approach from West Brom in 2009 when he was in charge of Preston. It says here. When Tony Mowbray left West Brom in 2009 to
Well, that's
join
a dream
Celtic.
job for him when you think about it, isn't it?
It's for Irvine, it's a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And I mean, we may be jumping the gun, and he may do a fantastic job. I mean, it's a pretty good start if they're going to sign Johnny Lescott.
Yeah.
But the Albion squad needs a huge overhaul.
Yeah.
Really, just to even, I mean, for me, they've got to be up there for relegation candidates with the squad they've got.
Huge.
And it's going to be a tough job for Irvine, I think. He's not the only manager to be appointed in the past week. You have Southampton have appointed a new manager after Pochettino left to go to Spurs. Ronald Koeman, the Dutchman, is the new manager. I know I know, including myself, we don't know much about him. He resigned from his job in Feyenoord in May after going the club to second place, which is a very good position for a club like Feyenoord. He has also worked Benfica, AZ Alkmaar, but no sort of, apart from Benfica, no other sort of big team
Well,
where people can take note of him.
Well, it's. I mean, you said. I mean, but maybe it's just us. Maybe AZ Alkmaar. I mean, they're actually quite noticeable.
No, but I mean for people in England to really take note of him.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like he rings a bell, but it's
that's what I mean.
You don't know, like he's not like he can go. Oh, I know he managed there. He managed there. He seems.
Interestingly, he will be joined at Southampton by his brother, Erwin Koeman, who's
got
coming
good
in as
partnership,
assistant manager.
It's a
That's
good
rare,
partnership
isn't it?
when you look at
Yeah.
the
That's good.
stats.
Well, really, if you think about it, who are you going to have a better partnership with? Some random or your brother? You know? Pochettino came in unknown and did a fantastic job. Can Koeman take Southampton on again now?
keep
or is
most
it
of
gonna
the
be a
players,
Yeah,
and
if
they
they-
could.
Well, I don't think it's under Koeman's decision that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It looks like Lallana and Luke Shaw both on the way out.
Milano, you might be able to keep. I got a feeling eventually we might pull out on that because
Mm.
asking Southampton are asking too much.
Right. Lambert's already gone.
Yeah.
Going to be a tough one for
Yeah,
Southampton.
Well, I just realised we're technically raiding Southampton.
And when we were talking about surprising transfers, for me, in the past week, the biggest surprising transfer has to be Chelsea's capture of Cesc Fabregas. I mean, it's a fantastic move for both player and club, but I mean, when the guy left Arsenal, he turned around and said, I'm not going to play for any other English team apart from Arsenal. And when linked with Chelsea before, he said, if you see me in a Chelsea shirt, shoot me.
Okay. Well, he's got to keep an eye out then, because you know.
Yeah, we've got to be snipers about there, sis.
No, I once again, Chelsea doing what they always do and sort of buy names and not really. Do they need that kind of midfielder?
No. Thing
Well-
is, this is the biggest, for me, it's going to be the biggest signing of the transfer window.
Maybe. Diego Costa.
No, but that's one where it's, see how it goes. This is huge because he said he will never play for Chelsea.
Yeah, no,
No,
I
he's-
understand that. He will be probably filling the role of Frank Lampard, but obviously more playing time.
Yeah.
It's probably a midfielder I think they actually need.
You think?
I mean, you've got Ramirez and Oscar, but you haven't got that dependable sort of consistent passer of the ball.
Matic? Ramirez?
Matic, the jury's still out on him. Ramirez is more of a rugged sort of, you know what I mean? Fabregas is someone that will bring class to your centre midfield. That's for certain. With Fabregas coming in, Costa, it seems, is on his way. Courtois is back. Chelsea, for me, maybe a good shout for the title next season.
We said that last year, though, didn't we?
I went Chelsea last year, to be
I
fair,
did,
but
yeah.
they look stronger.
Mm.
City yet to really make, apart from a transfer we'll speak about in a minute yet to really make any sort of big deals.
Well, I think for City it's more about if they Joe side with the Yaya thing. I think it's more if they can keep him. That'd be technically their signing.
That's very true. Fabregas probably in terms wanted to go back to Arsenal, but Wenger turned him down.
Who do Arsenal have in the middle?
Well, they've got Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey, Mesut Ozil, Mikel Arteta, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah, that's
all can play the centre midfield role. Flamini, I'm sure.
If I'm going to say anything, I'll probably say that it's probably his age. Because Wenger has this weird thing about...
Yeah, but then Flamini's quite old.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the age. I think it's if Fabregas comes back, Wilshere gets pushed out. And Wilshere won't start any games. Because who do you want in your centre midfield? Jack Wilshere or Aaron Ramsey?
Yeah.
That's the problem. And Ramsey and Fabregas are so similar now. Think back how Fabregas played at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Ramsey plays like that now. Do you really want two centre midfielders of that same... It's like Lampard and Gerrard can't play together because they're the same player like styles. You need a defensive and an attacking. It would be difficult for Arsenal to work Fabregas back into the side.
So he's saying, does you understand why they didn't want him?
I think it's a good decision.
How much was it? How much did he go for?
30 million.
Well, there isn't. It's undisclosed as it says, but there are rumours of about 30 million, which is probably for a player of Fabregas' talent and name value. It's probably about right. Another ex-Arsenal player now has joined City. Bakary Sagna, who left on a free transfer, signed up on a 3-year deal at the Etihad. That again, it's another sort of bemusing transfer, if anything. I mean,
what's City's obsession with buying from Arsenal players or buying players from Arsenal?
Well, I think they like to take. They just don't like. They must not like Wenger. It's just don't like you. I'm taking your players.
I would actually be intrigued to hear what was it if we look at stat like since City have got that big money. How many Arsenal players have they signed? It's got to be. Is it like?
I mean, yeah, but saying that, the players they have signed have done well.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're bad sign. I'm just saying.
Even Adebayor.
Well, when he started out.
Yeah, he did well. I mean, he's always going to be a good goal scorer. But Sagna, is it a last payday? Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
And also, it's obviously a huge backup for someone like Zabaleta. So.
Yeah, it is, and we mentioned this on the way up here. Zabaleta's not really young anymore. He's getting on. He won't be able to play every game. It's a great guy to come in and slot straight in, and there'll be no. You ain't got to worry about he's going to be a weak link, because Sagna won't be a weak link.
Now, he's one of those players you can fit into any team.
He can fit into. Yeah, that's the thing. A 3-year deal is quite interesting, really. Someone at 31 going to be a backup. 3 years.
So that's all right.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit long to sign on.
Usually, these players like that usually get that 1 or 2 years.
2 years at a push.
Yeah.
It's a peculiar one.
What's weird thing is what will probably happen is because I don't know if Arsenal have changed their policy, but they usually have this when you go past like 29, 30, you only get a 1-year deal.
Well, Sagna's become the 5th player to leave Arsenal to sign for City. Adebayor, Kolo Toure, Galglish and Samir Nasri. So I understand what you mean. What about if Sagna starts well in pre-season when Zabaleta's resting from the World Cup? I know Sagna's at the World Cup as well, but he'll probably come back first to try and make a claim. Would it be tough for Zabaleta to get back in if Sagna starts playing well?
I don't think so. I mean, if think with the signing sort of more sort of, you know, like we were after Champions League game, and they've just had a big game on Tuesday or Wednesday, and they want to rest so he's tight, put him.
It's one of those spots,
and he can still have a strong defence.
Yeah. Well, I think the Champions League campaign is a big reason why Sagna's one, the players wanted to join. He's got a chance to win the Champions League, and for City signing him, because you need a variety of a squad to play Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Have they still got that? What was it? Was it banned from UEFA? You know that was it. Squad numbers.
Well, although City were found guilty of breaching financial fair play regulations, I I believe that the ban was overturned.
Okay.
For an appeal. Don't hold me to that, but that's if my memory serves me correctly.
Because they had different for the 23-man squad. I think they had to have, and I think the max is 30 or something. They had to get it down to like 23.
Well, we're moving on. We've got the fixtures to speak about, but I think we can't put it off any longer. It's World Cup time, isn't it? And obviously, before last week's show, World Cup hadn't started, obviously. So we have to start with their opening game. Brazil, Croatia, Group A. And it was the perfect way for a World Cup to start.
Yeah.
It really set the tone. Both sides full-on attacking football, and Croatia was so unlucky.
I truly believe if they had Mandzukic up front, they might have them chances might have actually got in.
That's a very good point. Mandzukic is missing. It's unlucky.
Because Yegovic
Jelic
didn't really do much in the whole game.
No, he didn't. He did have a bad game. For anyone that hasn't saw the game or saw a result, two things. One, where were you? Get out of the rock that you're under. And two, it was a 3-1 victory for Brazil.
But
a huge controversy.
Yeah.
But like Marcelo's own goal, literally, I remember watching it with you guys, and everyone in the room was just like, that wasn't supposed to happen. Everyone was shocked.
Yeah, that's not in the script.
Well, that's what I mean. It was the perfect way.
Yeah.
Brazilian World Cup, new era, new dawn. Everyone expects Brazil to go on. 11 minutes into the opening game, their left back scores an own goal. It was just brilliant. Go on.
Oscar's third, though.
Oscar's third was a great goal, and we will get to that, but it's the 2 goals in between. There's a lot of talk about. I mean, the equaliser, it was a very good goal from Neymar. The midfield scrapping was Croatia have got to be disappointed about, and the keeper has to be disappointed.
Should have said that.
Yeah,
I think he should.
I think it's still a good goal though, because you got to think, if as a striker you want to get as close to the post as possible.
Yeah, but he didn't.
It makes it hard for the goalkeeper.
He didn't mean to, did he? He completely sliced it.
Oh yeah. But it's still a good goal. It's just the goalkeeper, because he was on the side. That was on his side. He should be doing much better. Yeah,
The kid, for a national team number 1.
Yeah.
If Joe Hart would have let that in, there'd be a huge uproar in this country. It's Brazil's second goal that's the big talking point. Penalty was given after it seemed after the referee judged that Dejan Lovren fouled Fred in the box, had like pushing all over him. It wasn't a penalty at all. Come on.
The defender didn't even move. I mean, just like sort of, he tried to turn, he just went on the floor, and whether he gave it, you could always argue it's 1-0. It's the Brazilian World Cup. You might have pressure for, okay, he's down the box, give the penalty, but nowhere near.
I think it's a bit.
There was
contact. Wasn't a penalty.
There was contact, of course, in terms of hands, but that happens everywhere. Yeah. That's just football. He's challenging for the ball. There's no possible way it was a penalty, in my opinion.
But it's just interesting how everyone now, just because of that decision, do you know what? I think that referee was awful. He's so biased and all this.
Wasn't a bad referee, honest.
If you look at the whole game, he had a good game. It was just 2 decisions that were debatable.
It was the 2 decisions that ruled the game. That's what the problem is. The penalty that shouldn't have been, that gave Brazil the winning platform to go on to, and before Neymar gets the equaliser, I think he should be sent off for the elbow.
Oh yeah.
No, but you can say that about a lot of things, can't you? I mean, there's games in the past where players have been sent off. He hasn't scored later on, but he's just not been sent off. So
yeah,
I mean, you never know in football, do you?
I'm not saying that the referee won the game for Brazil, because they've got to score the goals and they've got to run out the defence. I get that. It's just I think, in terms of the sending off, Neymar he doesn't even look at the ball, and he goes in with the elbow. I think it's purposely, and I think it's a red card. And if Neymar doesn't, I don't believe Brazil get back into the game if Neymar's not on the pitch, because he was a big driving force.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good shout. Yeah.
Croatia were really unlucky. Before we go on to Brazil's second game, which they played yesterday, Croatia's manager, after the game, for about 2 days after, was whining about the referee. Obviously, as we said, the referee had a few bad calls, but come on.
It's not like, what about your team playing really well?
I know.
You played some good stuff at times.
Well, this was the Croatia manager's words. we may as well go home now if that's how the referees are going to be.
I get it.
I understand why you felt like why you felt sort of like.
But you've got another 2 games, and what you got now? Was it they've got
huge
Cameroon.
Game tonight, Cameroon.
They could win that because Mandzukic is back, and if they play like they did in the first 20 minutes,
it depends if they let the Brazil game get them down. If they beat Cameroon, and then it goes to the final group game, Croatia, Mexico, winner goes through.
Oh, that's good.
It's going to be a great game. Yesterday, Brazil had their second game. Mexico, who had already beaten Cameroon, going into a bit of form. Again, it wasn't a great performance from Brazil. For the second game in a row, they didn't particularly shine.
I mean...
But I'll take nothing away from the Mexican goalkeeper. He had a great game.
Definitely, Guillermo had a stunning game. I mean, you can pick out 4 or 5 top-class saves.
Yeah.
Like the Neymar header. Did anyone else think Gordon Banks Pele in 1970? Was it just me?
I'm sure. I think he came out. He might have. I don't know. I don't know if he does twice. I doubt it. But he came. I think he was talking about that.
It was very sort of similar. And I mean, there was also a Thiago Silva header, which was pushed away and well saved. Ramirez that was kept out?
Yeah.
From close range. Brazil threw bombs at him, really, and he had the answer every time. This is a keeper that it seems is destined to play Premier League football next season with Arsenal, Liverpool, both after him. He's on a free transfer. We'll see, but it's the Brazilian poor performance that's been the biggest headline for the.
Would you say it might be because of the occasion and where they're playing?
Possibly. I just don't think they're as good as people make out.
If you're going to be honest, we went for Brazil because you would have thought World Cup, home country. They've got a pretty decent side. You would have thought that would have made.
From is because they're the best team in the world. Well, best team in the world because they've got 5 World Cups to their name.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be the 6th.
Yeah, because it's at home. It's their first World Cup since.
But I wouldn't say they're the best team in the world. Apologies. I wouldn't say they're the best team in the world. I think a lot of people went for them because it's in Brazil more than the side they've got. I think Argentina, over my pick, as I say, have got a better side. Germany have got a better side. Spain have got a better side. I know we'll speak about their first game in a bit. I think they're a better side than Brazil. They may just start slowly and get stronger, like they did at the Confederations Cup last season. They didn't start well.
Yeah.
I know they picked up the points, but performance-wise, it wasn't good. And then they went into the final game against Spain and obliterated them.
Yeah, but the funny thing about that, a lot of people said Spain played like they didn't want to be there. So, they did blip. No one we'll talk about in a minute.
Luckily for Brazil, their final game is against Cameroon, who may well be bottom of the group, no points, the whipping boys, maybe.
And if I remember really correctly, Samuel Eto'o's injured.
Well, it's a chance he might not be injured by the time they play.
Well, okay, I just remember reading the article and he might be
out of the World Cup.
Yeah,
maybe.
If that's so, then I don't know any other strikes for Cameroon that could fill that void.
For Mexico, though, it's a chance for them to top the group. They're now level on points with Brazil. They're they got the final game against Croatia. I know Brazil should beat Cameroon.
Yeah.
If they can pick up 3 points against Croatia and maybe outscore Brazil, top of the group, and then they miss out on what may very well be a Spain or Chile. So it's important for Mexico.
Important. Extremely.
We have to go into the Group B, second day of the World Cup. Everyone's flying. Cameroon, as we say, lost to Mexico even, yeah. And in a pretty lively game, we go into the night's game, and it's Spain against the Netherlands. The big game everyone's been waiting for. Rematch for the FIFA World Cup 2010 final. Who expected that?
No one. I mean,
Literally,
First-
I thought 1-0 Spain, and that was it.
I mean,
How wrong was I?
Well-
the first 20. Well, we're talking about first 20 minutes of that game. Spain looked good. I mean, they looked.
They did look good. And for the first 20 minutes, maybe just me, but the Diego Costa addition to the Spanish squad, I thought it looked like it was going to make them so much more stronger. They had a deadly finisher they needed.
Yeah, they actually had the was it?
And that may
Summers
turn out
target?
to be right against Chile and Australia. It may have just been a one-off, but Costa wins a penalty. Was he fouled or did he win the penalty, if that makes sense? You know what I mean? Well, he was looking for it, and he sort of kicks the defender more than the defender kicks him. Or is that just me?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, it's like such a blur now.
At the
when I
end of
think
the
about
day,
it.
at the end of the day, if the defender or midfielder, whatever position the guy was in, has fouled Diego Costa, and it even looks like it, then it's a penalty.
I can understand why a referee gave it, but looking on the replays, it was more of a fact that Costa kicked out to the defender to trip, more than the defender stuck his leg out. The defender didn't stick his leg. It was like a couple of years ago when Ashley Young went down, when he kicked out at the defender and dived over. In a way, it's a type of diving. But if the referee's got the position shielded and it looks like he's tripped, you can't blame him for giving the penalty.
Yeah, no, you can't.
He does get the penalty, and Alonso, as
That's
ever,
away.
Mr. Dependable.
Yeah.
It was a great penalty as well.
Yeah.
And you think, this might be curtains for Holland here. And then Van Persie,
Oh, what a
right
goal.
before half-time. The perfect timing
God.
for the equaliser as well, which was probably a big reason why Holland went on to win the game right before half-time to get an equaliser. Huge blow for Spain. And what a goal. Probably the best goal of the tournament so far.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way, like, the ball's played up to him, and he's literally dived to try and get it. And he's managed to. So,
But it
9
wasn't.
times out of 10, he wouldn't have got it.
It wasn't even like it was a clearance. The left back, he picked him out.
Yeah.
He picked him out for that. It was a cross. It was a cross from his own half.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a brilliant ball in. The ball, in a way, was as good as the header because it was perfect. Van Persie's the man you want on the end of it. Diving header. Casillas, who even with that goal, he was a bit off his line more than he needed to be, didn't he?
I mean, we're talking about the was it mistake he made near the end, but it's everyone's like made a mistake. We were surprised. I mean, if you watch the Champions League final, I mean, I think I'm surprised he even started. To be honest,
Is the Casillas being out of form due to the not being? No, throughout the season he's hardly played. So again, under Ancelotti, for a goalkeeper, playing every week is important for concentration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You used to yourself, and you got to say if you sat out a couple of weeks.
If you sit out for too long without any games, you stop believing in yourself. You don't want to play when the manager asks you to, so you start to fall apart mentally. So
I think it might be different because obviously he's been around so long. I think I heard the manager's gonna make wholesale changes. I've got a feeling he's gonna play. If I'd be surprised if he starts.
Will it be De Gea or Reina?
Yeah. I just think because put that bright spark in a very terrible season for Man United. I would personally play him.
Well, before we preview the games for tonight for Spain and Holland, we have to go on to this amazing second half. And I mean,
full of great goals.
it wasn't even long before the goal came. Robin, in the 53rd minute, and it was well worked from him as well. He managed to bring the ball down, turn, and rifle it past Casillas.
To be honest, that's sort of really what Robin does. It's what he's made his name for, doing finishes like that. To be honest.
But again, people will notice the first 2 goals for Holland were from huge long balls from the back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't even total Dutch football.
Well, if anyone looked at the score without actually knowing what happened in the game, you'd probably think, the Netherlands are back playing attractive football, scoring goals again.
And they weren't. That's the thing.
Spain just fell up. I don't know what happened. It's like they were doing like
The
schoolboy
defending was shocking. PK and Ramos, especially for that second goal. A guy can bring the ball down in your box, twist and turn, and I don't know. The third goal though, what a fabulous goal.
Yeah.
Before that, Van Persie did just hit the bar, which was really, really unlucky.
That was.
After a good play from Robin again. The third goal, it was a fabulous goal in the sense of it's fabulous to see Spain defending that badly, isn't it?
to give everyone a bit of hope. To be honest, I mean,
The thing is with I don't know how you say his name, Divridge's goal. I don't know. De Vrij. Anyway,
yeah.
His goal. Do you reckon he was so happy about scoring that when he collides into the post, and that looked painful, he just didn't even feel it. I mean, like, he celebrates fine, and then as they kick off into the other end, he's just like, "Ooh, that hurt."
Got a feeling that would have. Yeah, I think he would have woke up the next day and be like, "What's this massive bruise on my side?"
Yeah.
And then the Robin show takes over. It does, doesn't it? Just well, before that, the Casillas error. It's the only thing it can be.
I don't know what it was.
It's a decent back pass. All he has to do is touch it at his feet, clear it away, and all of a sudden that left foot control. It's a pass to Van Persie.
Yeah, you just don't do that with Van Persie sniffing for the, you know.
You don't do it with any player sniffing.
No, but it's
It was
just
such a bad touch. It went. It nearly went out the box. How bad of a touch it was.
You know, I mean, it just looked like it. He just
Gave up.
Van Persie was just like do it. What strikers sometimes do to put the goalkeeper off and make a mistake. He did. And Van Persie's like, "Thank you very much."
4-1. Holland are in dreamland. People can't believe it. It can't get any better than this, surely. And then Arjen Robben does the Usain Bolt. I mean, it turns out I've read somewhere he set the world record for how fast a footballers run on the pitch. 20 something miles per hour, quicker than Walcott. Walcott had the last world record, quicker than Walcott. And Sergio Ramos isn't a slow guy. He's got some pace to him. And Robin just blows past him. Seriously.
I just can't, I don't know how was it a team that's won 3 consecutive international tournaments, right? I've just gone to this tournament and
Imploded so badly in that game.
No, but I can see how it's happened. The players were all from the World Cup 2010. I think that sums it up really. Most of that squad was from back then, and they come to another World Cup.
I don't particularly buy into it's the end of an era. I think it may just be a really bad game. I still think... today's game's the important one, but if they can beat Chile tonight, they'll go through.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I wouldn't rule Spain out just yet.
No.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
A lot of people are writing them off, and you never write Spain
I mean,
off.
I'm still thinking they'll get the semi-finals. So.
Well, people...
Well, if Brazil win the group and Spain finish second, I think they'll beat Brazil, personally.
Yeah. But, I mean... It's people forget. We mentioned it. Spain did lose their first game in 2010.
They did but this is the important thing.
Yeah, they
lost to Chile, who they play tonight.
I'm intrigued by this match tonight. I think this is going to be interesting.
Interesting's a good word. It's basically winner goes through.
Yeah.
If Chile win, Spain are out. Mathematically they are out.
Chile have qualified if they win.
Yeah, they will do. Yeah. And
who would have thought?
Chile have a good chance though. If they win today, Holland should beat Australia, but you never know.
Yeah.
That last game is a huge game. Chile Netherlands to finish top or bottom, top or second. Because to be fair, you don't really want second when it could be a Brazil waiting. You want to finish top, and then you can face a Mexico, Croatia. It's an easier sort of game.
Yeah. Well, no game's easy, but
obviously no game's easy in a World Cup finals. But the final group game in a few groups, it looks like it may be huge. Uruguay, Italy, maybe. We have to, which is where we're going to go next. Group D. This is where we might be a while. England. We all watched the game together. England, Italy. And it was a fantastic start. My word, it was a fantastic start. Raheem Sterling breathed new life into the three lions.
I mean, that was it. I think it's quite funny when he had that shot. Was it that
yeah,
long shot?
opening 2 minutes, long shot, hits the side down. It looks like it's in. Everyone, we were in a pub watching it. Everyone went wild, and then I looked up, and the BBC threw a goal caption down across its score. They thought it was in, and then I saw the referee point for a goal kick, and I was like, wait, it's not in, guys. Yeah, guys,
I think it was the reaction Sterling. He's like, he scored a goal, and he's walking off like, oh, it's like walking off. Like, I just scored a goal.
Like Eric Cantona.
Well, it was more of a. Everyone went wild in the pub and no one looked at the TV again for a good 2 minutes, and then they looked up and it went England 0, Italy 0. Everyone's like,
well, like I come back round from the bar and then I've looked at the score. I was like, I swear we scored.
But
it was a good start. Jordan Henderson then went close again, and it looked like England were rolling. We were all in good spirits.
Then
and then Italy have to burst our bubble, don't they?
Yeah, but this bit that was all. I can't believe how much space he had.
Yeah, Claudio Marchisio. Well, no, it's not that people weren't marking him, because in fairness, if people had gone out to mark him and then the free header in the box, you go, well, what's he doing out there?
Yeah.
So you can understand it, and it was a great dummy from Pirlo.
Yeah.
That was class.
The genius of
The thing is that people are upset about. The guy Marchisio, after the dummy, he's able to take a touch, line up a shot, and then put it in, and no one runs out at all. They just sort of stand there and watch him. And so that's where it comes from.
I got a feeling they were hoping they were like, they put a sky or something, and then
I don't know whether they were thinking, if we all sort of stand in the way, we can get a block on. And he has picked out the bottom corner brilliantly, no denying it. It's a brilliant strike. Italy 1-0 up, 35 minutes, and it's starting. It was starting to feel like same old England, start well and then slowly get outclassed.
Yeah, deja vu.
And then we hit back straight away.
Oh, it was
Daniel Sturridge.
great.
Daniel Sturridge. And the goal was brilliant. It was Sterling does brilliant in the centre mid.
Yeah.
And it's a great ball wide to Rooney. Brilliant. But I think it's the cross that makes the goal.
Yeah.
Personally. Because it was on a tee. Sturridge couldn't miss.
I mean, it's good to see he didn't. He got his missing open opportunities in the friendlies. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He couldn't miss.
What do you just wonder such of Rooney? I mean, he's getting a lot of criticism for where he played. I personally think he's unwarranted. I think he played not bad against Italy, where he was playing. That's just
I don't think he played badly, but when we were off the ball, Leighton Baines, when he was on the left, Rooney was on his own. He never tracked back. And in fairness, the game sort of hinged on that one Rooney miss in the second half.
Yeah. Oh, that was painful.
It was painful. He should score, and then only minutes later, Balotelli heads in at the other end, and from then the game was over. Really.
Yeah.
You couldn't see England getting back into it the way they were playing. The Rooney miss was very important. So I can understand what people think. Rooney's at his best in the centre.
Yeah.
There's no denying it. But from what we saw against Italy, Sterling's at his best in the centre, because he went wide and he was out of the game.
And now I can see why they're saying drop Rooney, but
do you drop Rooney though?
No.
It's a huge statement to make.
I don't think he will.
It's a brave statement to make. If he does, and it all goes wrong, Hodgson could get sacked for that. To be quite honest, because they'll all go, "You left out our best player." Well, you know what I mean?
He won't.
In many people's eyes, Rooney is our best player.
I don't think he will. If there's anyone seen the interview with Roy Hodgson after the game, he said he was quite happy with his performance. So I think that shows that I don't think he will drop him.
On the ball, Rooney played well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just that miss and the bad defending. But he's a striker.
Yeah, but it's not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's on for years. I mean, when we were on about, was it Rooney's been one of his players like. He never looks like he he tries to get the ball. He's just like runs up. He's going to try and get, and he just suddenly stops. And he's not
that frustrated me most was Ross Barkley running through, and he was playing brilliant at this stage. And he's on the edge of the box, about to stride into the box, and Rooney takes it off and takes a shot, which just is so wild. And you think, why did you do that? Barkley was through.
Yeah.
Is it a hoodoo for Rooney now? Is it getting to that point?
Yeah.
What was the
Yes,
stat on-
this is his third World Cup. Still no World Cup
Right.
goal.
I heard good interesting stat I think on my Facebook. What Roy Hodgson said Suarez has still got something to prove, and he got this stat. Was it as well? Was it Suarez 3 goals and was 6 I don't know 8 games or whatever. Was it 2 goals for Messi, 0 goals 8 games for Rooney,
That's
and he's saying who needs to prove what?
He's right. Bang on. Suarez had a good World Cup in 2010, but to propel himself into to World Player of the Year status, he needs to have a good World Cup this summer.
True.
He hasn't got
I
off to a
believe
great
that.
start because of his injury. Uruguay didn't get off to a great start either, though, did they?
No, we've got to talk about that.
We have to. 3-1 to Costa Rica. Everyone thought would be the whipping boys of the group.
We got.
We got that wrong, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Could you imagine if Costa Rica and let's say England do well, Costa Rica and England going through?
It's going to be the shock of the world.
That would be the weirdest
Wow,
thing.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, but I can't see Italy not going through at this point. To be fair,
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
you never know. You
Yes.
never know. Bang on.
I mean,
Is this a fluke by Costa Rica or?
I don't think so. I think they played. They
have the chance to prove it. I think it's tomorrow. Is it tomorrow they play Italy, or is it the day after? I think it might be. I think it might be Friday night they play Italy.
I think if our game's on Thursday.
But I think it's Friday night that they play Italy.
Yeah, I think so.
They have a chance to prove it. If they can pull out a draw, they have a big chance of going through. And it throws a spanner in the works because if they can get a draw against Italy, it may well make it that both England and Uruguay are going out. It shows how important the first games are, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you need to start well. You need to start with a win. And the Uruguay-Costa Rica game showed again, it was another great comeback.
Yeah.
Uruguay went a goal ahead. Another penalty, Cavani, after 24 minutes. And in the second half, it was the Costa Rican show.
I know. It's like we kept watching it. It was just like this is. At the time, I was saying this is probably the shock of the tournament so far.
It is. I think it is. Yeah.
It was inspired by an Arsenal striker as well, Joel Campbell.
And who was the Arsenal might actually give him a chance now.
Well, I don't see why not. They say they're needing strikers, but if they've got this kid who's played well for Olympiacos all season, starting to do it in a World Cup, Giroud, who's had a good season, you've still got Walcott who can play up front.
You've got that youngster. Who's it? Coming in the World Cup, FA Cup final.
Sonogo.
I mean, it's good, yeah.
Do they need a striker?
No.
That's the thing. To challenge for the title, they need a top-class striker, better than Giroud, obviously. They need someone
I
who...
think Giroud's good enough.
I don't think they'll win the title with Giroud because he won't bang in 20, 25 goals.
True.
Like Suarez
Yeah,
does.
they need. If they
Like
were,
Costa may well do if he settles in. That's the thing for Arsenal. So we're gonna predict it. We're gonna predict England's game as we always have to. England Uruguay tomorrow, huge game. Before we do the predictions though, I believe Uruguay need the 3 points more than England.
Yeah. Well, they were favourites to top it, weren't they?
But if England get a point, me and Matt spoke about this earlier and we both agreed it wouldn't be a bad result necessarily. What do you think, Stuart?
well, I think it's more. It wouldn't be a bad result, but it's more. We'd be sort of halfway on the way out.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm not saying play for a draw. My only reasoning behind that is if Costa Rica get beaten by Italy and Italy will go through, Italy have got to be favourites to top the group now. I think. If Uruguay England then say 1-1, both men are on a point. Costa Rica on 3. Yeah, I get that. England beat Costa Rica. Uruguay have got to beat Italy. That's where it comes to.
Yeah, but
I'm
truly believe it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Uruguay. The game's going to be. We're going to lose it. We're going to win it. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a draw.
Well, I don't think there's been a. Well, no.
Yeah, it's been 1 or 2 since.
There's been 1 or 2, but there hasn't been many draws.
No, I mean.
But I'm not saying go for a draw.
No.
I'm saying after the game, if we have got a draw, it's not the end of the world.
No.
People will go, oh, we've got no chance going through now. First 2 games, haven't got to win.
Well, it's a bit harsh, I think, what people have said. I mean, I work in a pub and people have just come in and just saying, oh, England ain't got a chance now. I'm like, and I always say, like I said to you, oh, Spain lost their first game, won the World Cup. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
It's not that we haven't got a chance. Not at all. Yeah. I think it all depends on Luis Suarez. Because Uruguay are a completely different animal when Suarez plays.
And he didn't put him on.
And he didn't play against Costa Rica.
No, because I was watching it, I thought they put him on, and we found out he didn't, so...
If Suarez, he will play, it looks like.
Yeah.
If he's on form, because the thing is, he hasn't played since May the 12th, and last day of the season.
Yeah, pretty much.
He isn't going to be match fit. That's the important thing. He isn't going to be match fit. But if Suarez is on form, I think it's going to be very tough for England.
If Wayne Rooney takes him out, he gets red card, but Suarez is out for like 6 months. Would you mind, Stu?
Talk to me after the game.
well, what about if Rooney takes him out and Suarez is out for 2 weeks?
That's fine. That's fine. It's back to club football. He's public enemy number 1, and I don't like him. And then when...
Well, it's a game where Suarez might end up being public enemy number 1. Say something happens and 2006 Ronaldo gets Rooney sent off. If Suarez does something like that, there's no coming back for him.
I'm probably gonna pay for this comment, but I don't see him doing anything. If I don't think he would.
Ghana 2010 World Cup, anyone?
Yeah, but he didn't. Oh, that was a handball. Really, I mean, you're talking about full on studs on the. Like full-on studs, break a leg type tackle. I don't think he'd do that. He might bite you though.
I tell you something though. If Suarez becomes public enemy number 1, he may end up leaving Liverpool.
Don't come up with that.
Just saying. So we've got to predict it. England, Uruguay, the big game. Matt Thowny.
I'm an England fan. I'm saying 2-1 England.
Stuart?
I'm New England.
I'm going to go 2-1 England.
Oh, we take score for England this time.
I know.
Go for 2-1.
I just think
last time.
I went for 2-1 Italy, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, I just
go for England.
All I'm thinking is, if we play like we did against Italy and Suarez doesn't play well, we can get a win.
Yeah.
If Suarez is on form,
we can get a draw.
I'm thinking draw personally, but I'm going to go 2-1 just in case Suarez doesn't play well. Italy, Costa Rica. It's got to be Italy.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go for. It's going to be now, so I'm going to do the same scoreline to Italy, personally. Just because we all thought was it Costa Rica being the whipping boys would be like getting smashed, but they show on the break on the counter attack and stuff. They can play really well, and the Italians don't. They're good defensively, but they can. It shows they're not. They can be beat.
Yeah, so they can be beat. That's
I think it's going to be a very close game. But
I'm going 1-0 Italy in that one, I think.
I think Italy will win. I'm not saying the Costa Rica game was a fluke, but it took a lot of their energy to get a good result there. Italy are much defensively, although England unlocked them, they've got a better defence than Uruguay.
Thing is,
that's the thing.
Winning a game in the group of the World Cup keeps you in it until the end. That's how big a win is in the group stage.
That's very true. So we're going to move on. Good luck, England, by the way. The next sort of big hitting game for me, I don't know about you guys, although Colombia-Greece was an entertaining game, it's not really a big sort of game to talk about. It's got to be an Argentina-Bosnia.
Yeah, that was a good game.
I mean, Argentina, as we said last week, are my pick to win the World Cup this season, but how well did Bosnia play? They were so unfortunate to lose.
Well, they I said this to Stu. They've come into this World Cup in probably the best position. They cannot lose. If they don't finish the group stage, all right, no, we didn't expect much. They get out of the group. That's brilliant. First World Cup.
I mean, if you look at it on purely numbers and the way the game went, Argentina took the lead really unluckily, by the way, for Bosnia, on goal in the 3rd minute. Messi then scores in the second half, 2-0. Bosnia pull a goal back in the 84th minute. You think, routine win for Argentina. But Bosnia really pushed them. And I saw someone put something this morning about Messi wants to change the tactics for the Iran game because Iran will sit back just like Bosnia did. I'm like, Bosnia sat back? Is it just me that thought Bosnia was on the
No,
front foot
they
every
did
time?
not. They did
I
not
mean,
sit back.
I think the only
I thought they attacked more than Argentina.
Yeah.
I think
Personally.
the only problem they had, that criticism, is they would have been more effective if they had two up front.
Yeah,
Think-
I think it was more of a going into the game. They didn't believe in themselves as quite as much as they could have. They,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yes, Argentina didn't really play well. They ground out the result, but I think Bosnia didn't believe they could get the result
Yeah.
when it showed that they could have quite easily against how Argentina played.
Well, players like Di Maria, Messi, Higuain, and all these other players didn't turn up, you could say.
No,
They
No.
didn't turn up for a really
No.
long time.
Until Higuain came on.
Mm.
You know, Higuain came on at half-time and Messi started to look.
Yeah.
He started to get going.
Well, 'cause-
Aguero was Aguero. The chance just never came for him,
Yeah.
in fairness. Di Maria, he had a mixed sort of game, I thought. Going forward, he was played quite well, but when he was picking the ball up in his own half and he was losing it, and he was just like,
That's what
Really?
Di Maria.
that's not Di Maria. Yeah, exactly. It set Argentina up now to be in a strong position in the group.
Yeah.
I mean, the two other teams we mentioned, Iran and Nigeria, in what has to be probably the most boring game of this World Cup. And it will probably go down as
Yeah,
that.
I
Touch
think
wood.
I actually think I fell asleep watching the game. Might have been because I was tired, but also I think I would have if it was.
It was just. I mean, I watched Nigeria a couple of weeks ago against Scotland. They were really poor.
So
And
are we surprised then that
Yeah.
it's been? I think it's.
Go on.
So I just think it was Iran. I thought, anyone can score against Iran.
I think Argentina and Bosnia will go through second
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Bosnia in
Bosnia's
second.
performance, if they
Yeah.
don't go through, I'll be surprised.
If Bosnia play like they did against Argentina, they can beat Iran and Nigeria by 3-4-0. You know what I mean? If Argentina play well against Iran, Iran are in for a spanking. You know?
Yeah.
If let's say Iran actually play well against Argentina and get a draw, Bosnia could finish top.
They could. That's the thing.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Well, yeah. And then doesn't that leave?
Is this World Cup?
Doesn't that leave an Argentina-France knockout game?
Oh God.
I think we've got to talk about the France game.
Yeah, France. It was a routine 3-0 victory. Honduras kicked them off the pitch, though, didn't they?
But
Jesus.
me and Stu saying a dark horse for the was it not the World Cup for the
For the
Golden,
Golden Boot, Karim Benzema.
Benzema was
Definitely.
I think,
brilliant in that game.
this
He's
might be-
really unlucky not to get a hat trick as well.
Yeah.
What do you mean between the whole goal line technology thing?
See,
I never got that. Why they?
well, I never got why everyone was up in uproar.
I think
Right.
I know why.
I get that they showed the two incidents in the stadium,
You should
but they were showing, right, it hit the post here and it went across the line and it stayed out, no goal. But later on in the same move, it hit the post and went in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean-
and it hit the keeper and went in. So it was a goal. What? Why can't people get that?
No, it's because I can see why, because it's because why. What's the point of showing the first thing off the post?
Yeah.
That's what everyone's like. Well,
Because
it
then-
but it says that it's like.
Yeah,
look,
but then people, if they show the second one, people go, oh, but did it go in on the first one?
Mm.
Should there be goal line technology there?
it's like can't win, can you?
But
The BBC commentary I thought was really bad for it. 'Cause they were really going, "Oh, this is a joke," blah 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 blah. And I'm like, it's common sense. Use your head.
But Didier Deschamps was having to really protect himself against that manager, weren't he? He was crying and everything. He was like, "You can't do
Well,
that."
the Honduras team were very rough. We
Oh.
saw it against England.
Oh,
That's not
poor
football.
man.
They do not
Poor,
play football.
some of the tackles they put in were just ridiculous.
Wilson Palacios conceded the penalty that gave France the lead. Benzema
I mean, you shouldn't.
slotted it away.
I mean, we say that. I mean, we forgot about him and the Pogba. Was it Pogba or was it possibly should have got sent off for that kick?
Yeah,
Should've- no, he
yeah.
should have, definitely.
Beckham, Argentina, '98.
Yeah, kicked out.
reminiscent, definitely.
He's lucky to get away with that.
But Benzema's third.
I think
What
that
a finish that
I've
is.
got. This might be different opinion, but I think that, from my opinion, that's my goal. It's best goal so far.
Benzema's third goal.
Yeah.
Shout.
Well,
It's-
Benzema's second. But
Yeah, I know you got
goal.
was it Van Persie's, but I just think that's just the angle and the way he got it, in
Mm.
that angle.
The thing that gives it for me is it's keepers down already. It's sort of a open net. Nearly, you know what I mean? That's what I think we're still waiting for the goal of the tournament. There's still a better goal to come, I think.
Yeah,
Do you
no,
remember
but
Van Bronckhorst in 2010?
What in 2010 you also had the Ozil goal. That was like world class. There was a red card in the game, I believe.
For Wilson Palacios.
well, we shouldn't.
Why are people surprised? This is Wilson Palacios.
But,
Yeah.
The first yellow card. Now, I think that I was talking to a few friends about this. About should players get a yellow card for pretending they've been hurt in a different place than they have, and wasting time like he did?
He got yellow for that, didn't he? Remember?
The problem is
No, because like
He got
it's
yellow for
clear
that.
he's been hit on the face, and when a player holds his face,
when it
the leg, and then
Valdo, anyone?
when it's as bad
That's
as the Rivaldo one, then
Yeah,
yeah. I think it's more of a FIFA will should look at it after, because how can a referee know if he hasn't saw the incident?
Oh no, but if
Yeah.
he sees it and it's straight in front of him and they're holding their face, I think it's wrong, because if any damage to if someone hits someone in the face, it's a red card. That's why they all hold their face. You think, why are you trying to get players sent off?
Yeah,
Don't do
Yeah,
that.
but it's not like was it Honduras were playing. I mean, as I said earlier, it was ridiculous the way they're playing, like the late tackles, bunch of people out of the way out. I feel for. I'm surprised France got Honduras went down to 9 men.
Final note on the France game: how well did Antonio Griezmann play on the left wing? Young guy, first World Cup, highly rated. Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea are after him, if I believe correctly. He was fabulous, fantastic. And
I think France are another dark horse.
France should top that group, definitely.
Yeah.
Switzerland, Ecuador, the only other two teams. They should top the group. And if they miss out on a really tough sort of draw in the next round, they may find themselves a nice semi-final place. Like 2006, where they sort of snuck through to the final, didn't they, France? You may find out. The group of death, anyone?
Yes, the group of death.
I mean, where do we start with Germany, Portugal? It was another game like Spain, Holland, two heavyweights of international football,
Portugal just
ready to collide.
Portugal just not
I
turn
think
up.
the scoreline tells you everything. Germany are a team,
blitzed them.
Germany 4,
and
Portugal.
and what is
Blitzed them.
it? Portugal have got a star, and that's about it.
Yeah, and Ronaldo had a horrible game.
Yeah.
Really, I mean,
If you need to rely on one player to do well, for you to do well,
go-
sorry, you're not going to win the game.
I have to go back to that comment I said last week about some put about Ronaldo have a harder time trying to shine this World Cup because is a great player. He's like a great player around with other great players. I mean, Portugal, if you can name me a couple more great players to play for Portugal.
well, when you've got Nani as one of your top players, I mean, Nani's a good player, but he's not at the same level that Di Maria and Aguero and.
Yeah, I mean,
I think give it.
it's always been Portugal's problem.
Go back 4 years, their squad was really good, but now it's not.
No,
It's
no,
not
they are on a decline. Apart from Ronaldo.
Last two, they just struggled to get through to this World Cup. The Euros, they just about got in.
Yeah.
So it's not.
And they just about got in. This one with the playoff victory over Sweden.
Yeah.
What's the game that was?
Yeah. Favourite for the Golden Boot has to be Thomas Muller now. Got the Golden Boot at 2010. Top of the charts now with his hat trick.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
He's a really underrated player as well because he gets goals consistently for Bayern, for Germany, and everyone for Germany they go, oh, Sami Khedira and Mesut Ozil, and
It seems to be a constant with Germany. They seem to have
a constant goal scorer.
Yeah, it's like for last. You can name last 3 World Cups. You can probably name like.
Well, obviously Muller had the 2010 one, but you also had Closer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Going back into like the 80s and 90s, but yeah, well, not in the 80s and
Not
90s.
a huge player, but he
Well,
does.
if he's really old, Podolski's looking quite good.
Well, like you got to go into the the Rudy Vollers, they constantly had good goal scorers.
I don't know, it's always the same with Germany. Every tournament I don't think none of us really.
They were dark horse for this tournament, Germany.
I don't think they are dark. I think they're one of the favourites.
I think they're
I really do.
No, but I
favourites.
mean, everyone's expecting a South American side like Brazil or Argentina to shine and go on. If a European side's going to win it, we said this last week, it's
Germany.
going to be the Germans.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
think the
mean?
other favourites were on the European side, because it would be the first time a European side's won in
And to be fair,
South America.
isn't it about time they won? Germany?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, they won.
Final of the Euros 2008 did win.
yeah. They need. I think this might be maybe they need to prove something, because they've had like 2 like tournaments of sort of building.
Didn't they win in, was it
1990. they
nine-
won it.
990.
It's been a long while.
74. And they've done
Yeah,
it,
it's been.
it has been a long while.
But there've been a couple. They've been to. It's not like they've been to what? How many? Like 2, 3 finals? Like 22 and 2 final.
Yeah, but for a side that's always semi-finals or thereabout, you know what I mean? The deciding factor in the game was the red card and Pepe's stupid. Like,
I mean, it's not. He got. I think. But no, just to take the funny side, it's always weird to see Pepe with hair.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what's he doing? It's just like he tackle, he go up, and he just like, I don't know. He's sort of like, I don't know if it's like headbutt.
Well,
yeah,
Pep-
they touch heads.
Pepe's backed up everyone's claims that if he wasn't a professional footballer, he'd be in prison for assault.
Yeah.
Twice, really. Originally in the tackle, he knows where Muller is and he flings his arm back, and it's a slap round the face. You know what I mean? That's a red card in its own.
Yeah.
And then the headbutt,
And
I know he bends down into him. It's not really a proper sort of have that headbutt, but
Yeah.
But it's the intent.
it's head on head. It's the intent. That's a red card too.
That's all your team needs, you know.
He's probably the dirtiest footballer in the world.
I wouldn't put, but yeah.
Worse than Balotelli.
Oh yeah, it's a lot worse than Balotelli.
Balotelli's tame compared to him.
So where did Portugal go from here now? Because I mean, USA beat Ghana in what was a fabulous game in itself.
Well,
I
who's Portugal got next?
Portugal's next game, I believe,
Is
is
it-
against. Is it Ghana?
I don't. We'll quickly find out.
We'll have a quick look. I
Yeah.
believe it might be Ghana.
Keep going then.
But I mean, I could. No, it's USA. The big game, USA Portugal.
They got to win. There
They
you
gotta
go.
win. What is it? Is it? Am I the only one thinking winner goes through?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, USA. I mean, I'm getting a few guys watch the USA. Ghana. Well, watch the USA game.
It was a fabulous sort of game,
Yeah.
especially the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's something about the USA. Like every tournament, you just think, it's the USA. They won't do much, and they somehow just turn up and just play great football and play really well.
You look at the stats for that game and you think, go, Dempsey scores in the first minute, and nothing happens until the 82nd. Right.
Wasn't it 30
Let's skip the middle and watch the start and the end.
Wasn't it 30 seconds?
Quickest.
Yeah.
It was. I believe it's the
Great finish.
third quickest goal in World Cup history.
Third.
Or was it the quickest?
I don't-
One of them.
I mean,
I've read
it was a
somewhere.
great.
So not second quickest.
It was a great finish.
Is it third or first?
I've read it somewhere.
Either way, it's a fast goal.
It was a very, very fast goal. He
Very
scored-
fast, and
Scored
very
in
good.
29 seconds, and it's the 5th fastest goal in World Cup history.
Fifth.
No, but it's one of those goals, isn't it? It's like when you're walking home and your mum says to you, "Don't worry, you won't miss a goal," and you get home, you're like, "Mum, look what's happened."
I mean, in fairness, if you're walking home at like 11 o'clock from being out playing football or like going down the park, you know, at a young age, and you're walking back with your mum at 11 o'clock. There's already something.
You know the World Cup in South Africa.
Hmm.
That happened with Defoe's goal. I missed it, and that's a winning
What,
goal
against
That's
Slovenia,
really-
yeah.
like, come on.
I feel more happy. I feel more happy that goal because we actually saw a goal.
I mean, Dempsey's goal was a really good goal. He cut inside,
Yeah,
took a player on, good finish.
Yeah,
But so was Andre Ayew's equaliser, good finish again.
Yeah.
And then John Brooks, you know, world famous American player, John Brooks.
that no one knows. Not yet.
He headed in a late winner, and it's a big win for USA, and it's a win that could propel them to get to have a great World Cup.
I could see them maybe
Sneaking through, I can see it.
Wouldn't put it past them.
Portugal have to bounce back, and if they don't, they're out. It's simple as that.
Yeah. If they win,
And
USA have got to play.
USA's defence was
Got to play Germany.
looking for most of the game.
It
Like,
was looking
good.
It weren't looking bad, was it?
Mm.
We spoke about the Iran-Nigeria game being the most boring game possibly in World Cup history. Group H yesterday, and the Belgians weren't convincing, let's say.
No,
I think the pressure got to them. Everyone was bigging them up so much, and because of their young squad, they pressure.
Yeah, but it's not like they had to press you and didn't win the game, because they grinded out though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the second goal was a great finish.
Well, a good team wins when they're not playing well.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and Belgium did that. Although, for a long while, it looked like they weren't going to. Good penalty, well taken after Vertonghen fouled it. Sofian Feghouli scored from the spot. Yeah, after he was fouled. And they didn't look like getting back into it. Lukaku had a really poor game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
Maybe.
In a way, you couldn't even tell he was on the pitch. He had a really, really poor game. Fellaini came on, and let's enjoy it because it's rare we can actually say this. Fellaini changed the game.
Wow, who thought? Wow, that's been a long time saying that. Wow.
But it was a good header. Was it a header or was it some more just hair?
I mean, he's always been. I have to admit, he's always had a hair's really awesome. But I mean, when it comes to headering the ball, and I was like, he's always been good at that somehow. It makes no sense though because of the hair. You would have thought.
Well, one day just get stuck there.
Yeah,
start celebrating like,
or
did the ball actually go in?
Have I got glue in my?
Or it bounces off. Or it's good. So like he's got a raffle thing. It bounces off and gives it,
And then Dries Mertens, another substitute, comes off the bench. Great pass from Hazard, by the way.
Yeah.
Just setting through. Great finish. Belgium are on their way. They should top the group from here.
Because I mean, I don't know if you guys watch the other game, the Russia South Korea game.
No.
I didn't watch it fully, but I have saw the Akin Fev. Let's call it that, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it's probably
they got goalkeeping mistake.
Well, from the first week so far, there are 3 sort of moments that spring to mind. Rooney's corner against Italy that flew out of the ground. You know what I mean? What a terrible corner that was. Ronaldo's free kick where he hit the one-man wall from 40 yards. And Igor Akinfev throwing the ball over his own line, basically. Did you guys saw this?
I tried to watch that game. It's hard to watch it.
I'll get the name of the South Korean striker.
The challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to try and pronounce it.
It's a bit like
Lee Kyun-ho, right? Had a shot, long range, and the keeper is basically he's on to catch it, two-handed near his face, and he's just threw it. Sort of just, I don't know how to explain it in audio. It's sort of you have to see it to believe.
Yeah, look it up. It's ridiculous.
Kurzkov came off the bench to bring Capello's side back, but it's ironic, isn't it? Capello, he's got to be feeling a bit deja vu, ain't he? You know, first World Cup game, keep a mistake to give an opposition an unlikely lead, and you claw back a 1-1 draw.
They played so bad though. They didn't even play that good. It was like
both sides played so bad though. That's the thing. It was another game where I don't know why they have these games on at 11 o'clock when a lot of people are gonna watch football at that sort of time.
I think a lot of, it's not. It's a bit different when you say if it was Chelsea in our time. It's more because, I mean, what time was it played there? Like 9.
Well, it's the night game in Brazil. It's the prime time game, and you got Iran, Nigeria, and Russia, South Korea. And I mean, this is no offense to any of those countries, but I'd much rather see Germany, Portugal at that time than in Brazilian time. What was midday?
I did find that weird. In the sense that
I don't know whether it's chosen randomly or anything, but
I think it might have been just because maybe just I wasn't surprised at that picture. I had to say what game. Like I to be able to say what games do you want.
So we've had everyone's played now. At least one game. Brazil and Mexico have played twice. Who are looking the favourites to lift the trophy? We mentioned Germany. They made the biggest sort of impact. Holland made a big impact, but I don't know whether they have this to go on with
based
it.
on the first games.
On the first games, Germany, it's going to be a Germany-Holland final.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a bad final, by the way.
Wouldn't be a bad final, no.
But,
Well, depends when Holland turn up.
Do you guys still back your picks?
Yeah, I still back Brazil.
Starting
Starting to doubt it, yeah? 2 games in, starting to doubt it?
Yeah, but if they qualify, I might. If they qualify, I'll think
They should qualify from where they are, but yeah. I'm going to still back Argentina. Messi's going to come alive. It's going to be. It was a great finish.
Yeah, it was.
In fairness, so it's a
better.
bit of Messi magic.
Well, with that game, I don't think it's different because when they put and that was it. When they put 2 strikers up front and put Messi behind them, it was a bit more. That's what Messi is known for.
Right. Yeah.
So and he plays so much better when that happened. When it's like 1 striker and he's got, he's just got more room when he was like 2 strikers up front. He's like around the box. So if they play 2 up front next game, I see Messi probably
shining.
Yeah.
Last note on the World Cup, England. Well, 2 last notes on the World Cup. England's game against Uruguay is tomorrow night on ITV, and it's I believe it's is it a 9 o'clock kickoff?
Yeah.
8 o'clock kickoff.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock kickoff in British summertime.
Yes.
And the last note, we just want to wish best of luck to Gary Lewin, the England physio.
Oh yeah.
Who went off on a stretcher after Daniel Sturridge's goal.
I thought it was Daniel Sturridge when it was all the cameras around him.
Yeah. I had to he got off his sofa, the guy. I mean, I think it was like when it was like ITV were talking like, Glenn Hodder was like saying he brought him in when he was England manager. Like we're talking about.
He's England's best physio, to be fair, and he's dislocated his ankle jumping, celebrating. It's
such a shame.
Calamitous in a way, but you feel sorry for the guy, especially when this was the Football Association's quote on the matter. We do have another physio with us, Steve Kemp. No, you know what I mean? No best of luck. We feel we got another physio. It's cool. It's cool.
That is so the FA. They have not even the guy's probably going to be out for what was he?
Well, he's out the World Cup.
No, yeah,
he's not back.
Yeah, but when he's out for weeks.
Have we got enough people in our 23-man squad?
Oh well.
Anyone know a bit of science?
Roy Hodgson explained exactly what happened here. He says, in celebrating the goal, he jumped up, landed on a water bottle, and dislocated his ankle. Ooh. That sounds painful. It was very painful, Roy Hodgson said. He was taken to hospital. The doctor set it, put it back in at the side of the field when everyone was around him.
Put it back in.
But it's the end of the World Cup for Gary Lewin. It's dislocated his ankle. He's got to clock it back in place.
Ouch.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel for the guy.
Just a bit of breaking news this morning. West Ham have completed the signing of Senegalese midfielder Cheku Kouyaté on a 4-year deal from Anderlecht. We don't know much about the guy. It's an undisclosed fee. He's won 4 league titles in Belgium since joining Anderlecht in 2008. 11 times for Senegal, capped 11 times. They started early. Already signed Mario Zarate as well, former Birmingham City striker. But yeah, a bit of breaking news there. So we have to go on to the fixtures. Final. Well, I don't know whether it'll be the final bit we got to talk about. There's always breaking news, as we say, but it's a bit of first of all, Premier League. We'll start the Premier League. I'll run through the opening day fixtures for you as they've came out.
No, 38, right?
The opening day fixtures. Arsenal host Crystal Palace at the Emirates Stadium. Burnley host Chelsea in their first game in the Premier League. Could be a good game there. Everton travel to Leicester City. Southampton go to Anfield to face Liverpool. Manchester United face Swansea City again, but this time at Old Trafford. While Newcastle take on Man City again, this time at St James's Park. Yeah. Queen's Park Rangers face Hull at the Loftus Road, while Villa travel to the Britannia to face Stoke City. Sunderland go to the Hawthorns to face West Bromwich Albion, while it's a London derby at Upton Park where West Ham United face Spurs. There are a couple of marquee games there, but the important thing I've got to think is there are 2 games that was in the opening day last season.
Yeah.
What is this? And it's not just that. I mean,
we're not trying to spell out some conspiracy here, but that's just
there are a few that are the same. Again, we looked at it earlier. Towards the end of the season, in is it April? I think it's April for Liverpool, right? Their third last game of the season is Chelsea again, just like the season just gone.
But reversed.
But reversed at Anfield. This just like the season just gone. No, it's at Stamford Bridge. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
that's what
I said Anfield. Sorry. The season just gone. It was at Anfield, it's a Chelsea game, and then their following game was against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Their following game this time is against Crystal Palace at Anfield.
They really don't want us to win the Premier League. Then if we get that far,
no, they just want to see.
They must have. So how are we going to stop Liverpool from doing? I know. Let's put Palace again because they always do a good job.
So opening day fixtures, without being biased here, because I know we all got a team in there. But what's the marquee fixture
on the opening day?
On the opening day,
Swansea versus Man United at Old Trafford.
You think?
Because Van Gaal, if he does well at this World Cup, everyone think might make an impact immediately.
If Holland win the World Cup, definitely.
Oh,
For me, I've got to go Burnley, Chelsea, or Liverpool, Southampton. Southampton won at Anfield last year.
Yeah.
It'd be a different Southampton with a new manager, possibly no Lallana, Shaw, Lambert. That could be a marquee game which Sky will be looking, or BT Sport.
I've got a feeling that'll be played.
The Burnley Chelsea one, Burnley just come up,
It'd be like
Chelsea, you've got to be favourites for the title. That's got to be a marquee one. One you don't think of, obviously Newcastle City, because of City being champions, but one you wouldn't think of, or 2 you wouldn't think of, Leicester host Everton, which sort of has an interesting feel to it. Promoted side versus a side that challenging for Champions League maybe again.
Yeah.
And of course West Ham Spurs London derby.
Yeah.
There are some out there, but it's not quite the marquee as in like when we've had Man United Chelsea on the opening day, or
Yeah, but it's not like we haven't got in the second game. I mean, in the second game Liverpool have got City.
Liverpool City second game indeed.
I think that's like
also second game or second round of fixtures, shall we say. Harry Redknapp, if he's still in charge of QPI, he's back at White Hart Lane. There's a story for you.
Got the second round looks.
Everton Arsenal as well. Leicester go to Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, the second round of games look a bit
better. Third round of games, Everton Chelsea, Leicester Arsenal, Tottenham Liverpool. Liverpool have got a tough start. We've got to talk about this. Liverpool have got a tough start. Their first
3 games.
This is their first 6 fixtures. Southampton at home, Man City away, Spurs away, Villa at home, West Ham away, Everton at home. That's a tough first 6 fixtures, considering Southampton won at Anfield last season. City and Spurs away are tough fixtures, obviously. Villa have got good form at Anfield the last few years. West Ham away could be a tough game, depending on how West Ham have started.
Yeah.
And the Merseyside derbies.
The fixtures seem very similar to Brendan Rodgers' first season in charge.
It does. But if Liverpool are going to challenge for the title, out of those 6 games, I think they have to win 4. They have to beat Everton. They have to beat Villa, West Ham, and Southampton. And if they can pick points up out of City and Spurs, I think they're a title challenging side straight away.
I'm hoping so. I just really want it to be next season to prove that it wasn't just a blip.
The worst thing that for Liverpool would be if after those first 6 fixtures, they're 7th, 8th, and all of a sudden there's a mountain to climb. I don't think Liverpool will get back in that title race from that position.
Yeah, if we're 7th for that 6 games, I'm used to that. But I don't want it to be. I want it to be hopefully for last season's performance to be a building block to be consistently challenging for titles.
I mean, saying that, obviously then you have a good run of fixtures. You got West Brom at home, QPR away, Hull at home, Newcastle away. 4 fixtures, you can pick up 12 points there, really.
Yeah.
Obviously no game in the Premier League is easy, but Liverpool have it all to do from the start. We've got to move on to another title challenger in Chelsea. Really, they don't seem to have a difficult start. You know,
No.
especially the first 2 games.
Well,
Burnley away, Leicester at home. Matt, you've got to be looking at picking up 6 points there.
Swansea as well. Swansea are good at Stamford Bridge.
Swansea's the 4th game at Stamford Bridge. Everton, 3rd game at Goodison. But in terms of the first 2, you've got to be picking up a good start. City in the 5th game is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
But and then it's followed by Villa at Stamford Bridge. For Chelsea, though, you could be looking, after those first 6 games, going into the Arsenal game in their 7th, top of the league, flying high, title in their hands.
Would be nice. This time I think we got a better chance than last year, though.
What about the running? Obviously, you got the Chelsea-Liverpool game on the third last game of the season for both sides. Chelsea got West Brom and Sunderland in the last 2 games, and if you are fighting for the title, they're pretty decent fixtures to have, especially a West Brom side and a Sunderland side that could be fighting relegation at that point. In terms of we're going to move on to the Championship, because obviously Championship, League 1, League 2 games have all come out today. Opening fixtures, the Sky games have already been announced, by the way, which makes the opening weekend look like this: Friday night, Ewood Park, Blackburn versus Cardiff, which looks tasty. Brentford's return to the Championship, and they face local rivals Charlton Saturday 3:00. This is the 3:00 games. Brighton face Sheffield Wednesday, and it's I think his first game in charge of Brighton, Sammy Huppius. He's been appointed Brighton manager. Okay. Derby, playoff runners-up last year, face League 1 playoff winners Rotherham.
I think I've got a feeling that'll be a great game. I mean,
it will be a great game, I think.
I think that might be one of the standout ones.
2 relegation sort of threatened side maybe. Huddersfield versus Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. I mean, they did. Would you say they're relegated?
Second season syndrome, maybe.
Yeah, but does it? It's not. Is it really the same in the Championship? Maybe in the Premier League, but it's not the same in the Championship. I don't think.
At the Riverside, Middlesbrough host Birmingham. Come on, Middlesbrough. Millwall Leeds, yeah. Millwall Leeds. And this is a Leeds side.
Yeah, that's going to
have a new manager.
That's going to be changed to like a 12 o'clock kickoff. You'll see it.
Well, it's a Leeds side that
won't be played.
It looks like the new Leeds manager is set to be Dave Hockaday. Yeah.
Can I say who?
Yeah, exactly. His only job as a manager has been Conference Premier side Forest Green, and he left them October 2013.
They must be desperate if they're trying to get off him out. He might be good because
he might do a great job.
Brian
McDermott.
No, Nigel was it Nigel Clough when he went from
yeah, Burton Albion to Derby.
It worked really well for him.
He might do well, but it's a big risk for the owner because who doesn't get on with the fans as it is.
No.
There's going to be a huge backlash to that.
Yeah,
I think. So that Millwall Leeds will always be a
that's going to be changed to like maybe a early 12:45 kickoff.
For your attacking football, Nottingham Forest Blackpool on the opening day sounds tasty, as does Watford Bolton. Wigan face Reading, which was a Premier League game 2 years ago.
That'd be good. That's enough one.
Sky have picked the late game to be Fulham's return to the Championship at Portman Road, Ipswich. That's
a tough first game.
And it's also a tough first game for Norwich's return to the Championship on the Sunday. It's a 4:00 kickoff. They go to Molineux and face League 1 champions Wolves.
Well, Wolves are one of a massive high. I mean, that's going to be
two
tough.
big names there, Wolves, Norwich as well for a Championship game. Out of the teams that are in there, obviously transfers have got to go through, and we'll do this properly before the season's going into the season when we're doing our when we're back after our summer break. But who do you believe the favourites to be automatic promotion? I know it's
which one? Just Championship.
Just Championship.
It's always hard in the football league because it
could never predict.
No.
Derby. This isn't in order. Derby.
I think Cardiff, if they keep the spine of their team together, could do well.
Cardiff as well.
I think Wolves as well might push for a playoffs place.
Yeah, they might want to do that thing. They might do what Southampton and Norwich did. You know.
It also depends on. I think two teams, in terms of playoffs and automatic promotion. If Sammy Huppier settles in at Brighton, they could push on. Also, Wigan this year don't have Europa League football, and that's important.
Yeah,
they can focus on the Championship. They could be a playoff winner.
And also they might kick off from the start, because obviously at the beginning of last season
they didn't start well, did they?
No, was it mid-table? Wasn't it around about Christmas or anything? They were still like mid-table side.
Something like that, yeah. We're going to go into Matt's favourite league, League One.
That's his.
Yeah, it's Stuart's favourite league.
I know it's painful for me.
No,
please don't take the mic.
No, it's still his favourite league because he wants to be in it. But I thought I'd have a dig because it's funny. But
Sky have already picked their League One game the opening weekend, by the way, and it starts Saturday. All games on a Saturday, which is how it is in the lower leagues.
Yeah, you know, League One.
That's how it is.
That's how we roll.
Sheffield United versus Bristol City.
Oh,
12:15 kick-off live on Sky. That should be a good game. Two real promotional. You know what I mean? They should.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I know Bristol City had a bad season, but if they can regroup and bring some players in, it's now their time.
Sheffield United, right near the end of the season, would do really well.
Crawley face the relegated Barnsley.
I'm up for that game.
Crawley Town, yeah. Stuart's going to enjoy that.
Nothing because the funny thing is we play better away from home than we do at home. So I think Crawley, as I know Crawley fans, we'll be up for that game, and I think it's wouldn't surprise me if we nicked it, but I don't think it's going to be
a game that would have looked interesting 2 seasons ago. Bradford versus Coventry. And Bradford win Naki Wells would have been interesting, but obviously he's left now. Colchester host Oldham, while Fleetwood's first ever game in League One is at home to Crewe.
That's a tough one.
Wasn't Crewe in League 2 too, or was it just?
Yeah, that was so they went up the same season when Crawley did. So it was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh right, yeah. Orient, the playoff losers, well, runners up, I must say. Plus Chesterfield, which may be a tough game for them if they can't bounce back.
Tough, but I think it's better.
Chesterfield are a good side, so
yeah, but I think out of all the teams they could have got, that's probably a kind of game, first game.
MK Dons host Gillingham.
Tough, good game.
MK Dons could be a good shout for automatic promotion this year.
They always are.
They always are.
I maybe it's just I want to go up. It's about time they do.
Port Vale host Walsall in an All Midlands clash.
Yes.
Which for a Midlands boy myself has a bit of interest too.
Yeah.
This could be an interesting game. Preston North End host Notts County. Depending on how Notts County turn up. Rochdale Peterborough.
That's a good game.
That could be an interesting game. Swindon hosts Scunthorpe, while relegated Yeovil face Doncaster.
So I'll be excited to see that one.
And is it fair to say League One in the season coming will lack the star power that it had the season just gone? Now that Wolves and that have gone.
Yeah, I would say that, but it's I have to admit it's hard to out of all them names. It's hard to predict who's gonna. There's no outright favourites in them. I think. Even the relegated sides
as usual.
The relegated sides don't look like. I mean, I haven't really looked up the squad, but all them relegated sides. You're not looking at going. Oh, they're going to be standout. I think this might be a very close League One season.
Moving on quickly to League 2. Southend. They travel to Accrington Stanley.
Who are they?
Wimbledon, still doing well in League 2. Host Shrewsbury, while Cheltenham travel to Bury. Plymouth, Green Army, they travel to the newly promoted Cambridge, which could be an interesting game for Cambridge. Luton's back in the league, back in the Football League, and they travel to Carlisle. Dagenham and Redbridge host Morecambe, while Exeter face Portsmouth in an all South Coast clash.
Really, that actually is.
Well, it's
No, I'm not like trying to decrypt. It's just I'm like looking at them.
Hey, you have to big it up.
No, it still seems weird seeing Portsmouth there. It'll take a while.
Newport County face Wycombe Wanderers.
That'd be an interesting game.
While Mansfield travel to Northampton which is, I'm sure, is an All Midlands clash again. Burton Albion, the playoff runners-up, host Oxford United. Well, go to Oxford United even.
That
Could be a game and a half.
That will.
Hartlepool travel to Stevenage, while York City travel to Tranmere Rovers. And again, it's a league where you can't really predict it.
Well, I mean,
I've just realised Tranmere are not in League One anymore.
No.
Damn it! That means
they're not.
that goes that weekend away to Liverpool. Damn it!
Tranmere are not in League One anymore, and we've run out of time.
No.
We're out of time today. This is our penultimate episode before our summer break. Next week, our final episode for a summer break. So you can be sure we've got big things planned for our season finale. We might even have Matt Ty back on the phone.
I hope so.
I've been Carl Dixon. I thank Matt Downey and
Thank
Stuart
you.
and I for being here. We'll be back next week for our season finale. Hope you join us for that.